Good morning, boys and girls. We are continuing to look through our unit in science that's all about force and motion. We're going to review a couple of our vocabulary words. We're going to look at a story today that's all about motion, and that's going to help us get ready for an activity we're going to do tomorrow. So, we have been talking about different words, all of like force. So a force, we know it's a push or it's a pull on an object when two objects interact. So when two objects come together, they'll push or they'll pull. That's our force. We've also used the word friction. We talked about how there's different types of surfaces that are going to help slow down an object. We'll get to talk about that some next week. Gravity, a force that pulls objects towards the ground. So like when we dropped the paper and the glue stick, what is it that caused them to come to the ground instead of floating away? It's gravity. All right, so then we've also started to talk about a few other vocabulary words. We talked a lot about heavy, things that might weigh a lot more than another object. And we compared things like an elephant versus a pencil, or a tractor versus a tissue. Objects that are heavy, they weigh a lot, they need muscles to be able to move them. But the opposite of heavy is light. It's something that weighs just a little bit, it's something that weighs less, like a feather. Then we introduced the word speed, how fast something is moving. We talked about how things that move all move at a different speed. So some things might move fast, objects that move quickly. We talked about airplanes, and we said maybe road runners, they move fast. But the opposite of fast is slow, objects that move with less speed. So things that move slow could be like an ant, could be a snail. They move slow. And then when we talk about speed, we always talk about stop, when the object is no longer moving. And finally, objects move in different directions. This is one of the things our friends have been working on in class, identifying different directions like up, down, side to side, around. And we'll get to work on some of that too. But to help us understand motion, we're going to look at this story really quick called Motion, Push and Pull, Fast and Slow. So as we look, we see that you run to catch the school bus. The bus rolls down the road. Tree branches sway in the breeze. An airplane flies up into the sky. Anything that goes from one place to another is motion. How things move, up and down, forward and backward. Some things move in straight lines, sideways or around and around. Some things moved in curved lines. A car whizzes down the road. A baseball crashes through a window. Some things move quickly. A baby crawls across a room. A ball of yarn unwinds and rolls away. Some things move slowly. Let's get going. A kick from your foot makes the ball scoot across the field. Stepping on the gas pedal makes the car drive away. Inertia is a property of all matter. Inertia won't let things move unless a force gets them going. A kick is the force that moves a ball. A motor creates the force that moves a car. Your bag slips off your shoulder. What's the force that's going on? What makes yo-yos dip and water spill? Why do baseballs curve down? The Earth's gravity is the force that pulls everything down toward the ground. A rolling ball, a speeding car, and a falling raindrop will keep moving until something stops them. Inertia also makes moving things keep on moving. You need to wear a seatbelt because of inertia. Suppose your car stops suddenly. Your body will keep moving forward until a force stops it. A seatbelt stops your body and keeps you safe. The ball you kicked rolls across the grass. As the grass rubs against it, the ball slows down and stops. This rubbing is called friction. Friction is a force that makes things slow down and stop moving. Anything that rubs can cause friction, even air. People who design airplanes think a lot about how to keep air from slowing things down. So, who's moving? You're moving on a bus. Some friends outside see you looking out the window and wave. Your friends outside think you're moving very fast. But what about the friend next to you? Does this friend think that you're moving fast? Not at all. The world is full of motion you can't sense. Even as you read this book, you're speeding through space. You are on the earth, and the earth is spinning around and circling the sun. Leaves are fluttering, raindrops are falling, cars are whizzing by. Look for motion and the forces that create it in everything around you. So we're constantly in motion. Things are always moving. We've talked about all different types of items, and items that can move fast, items that can move slow, items that are heavy, and items that are light. And all of this takes part in motion, and gravity has a huge part in it. So you guys have a few little activities where we can review some of these vocabulary words or listen to the story again. I'll see you guys soon.